Hello my friends, starting from today I will be streaming different games and posting content on YouTube from now on. And since this is my first video,
见到了这么美丽的景色，自然会产生云游四海的想法吧。
I would like to say Hajimemashite, yoroshiku onegaishimasu. Since I'm primarily a Genshin player, I would like to start off by making a Genshin account showcase.
As you guys can all see, I am the world's 1145th Genshin player, and I have reached AR60 for a while now. I'm usually a Welcome Moon and Battle Pass player, but occasionally I will a little bit to get the characters and the weapons that I want. And speaking of characters, let me show you guys my character archive. So as you guys can see, even as someone who has played ever since the game launched, I still haven't managed to collect all of the characters, such as Hutao, Yula, and Ganyu. And I don't even have Shinobu, even though she is a 4-star. And I've always wanted Xianghe because I think she's really pretty and she's a nice support for all the other characters, but you know, things can happen in life and you don't always get what you want, and that can be disappointing sometimes. But the next time there's a rerun, I'm definitely pulling her and her weapon out of her banner. And also, not only her, there's other characters that I wanted to pull, like Ganyu, because pretty much the same reasons, and Yula mainly because of her damage. But I feel like that's about it. Nari, I feel like I don't really have to pull because, you know, he's going into standard banner anyways, and I lose my 50-50 a lot. So, that's about it. A lot of the times I feel like I don't get the characters I want because I try to pull their more important constellations and their weapons, so which is why sometimes I don't have enough Primo Gems to pull them. So, for example, I pulled Kazuha C2, and I also pulled Sada's C6, which took me like 120 pulls if I remembered correctly, which is kind of depressing. And I also pulled for Zhongli C2, Xiao C1, Ayaka C2, and that's pretty much about it. So as you guys can see, this is pretty much all the 5-star constellations that I have for now. But in the future, I still want constellations like Miko C2 and Shogun C2. And let me show you guys my standard banner character. So this is the Luke. I don't have constellations for him, and this is Jean. I have a C2 Jean, and I also have a C4 Chi-Chi, which makes me really want a C6. I know this is kind of depressing, but hey, how are you gonna be mad at someone that's that cute, right? And finally, there's my C2 Keqing and my C2 Mona. I actually really want a C3 because that's more damage for me, which is good. And I'm gonna show you guys my 4 stars. A lot of my 4 stars are C6, but a lot of them I still have to get, like, for example, Shinobu. I still don't have her yet, so I still have to get her. And then there is my Chongyun, and then my official, my Beidou. So just all of these, all of the older 4 stars are pretty much all C6, except for of course Lisa, Amber, and Kaya. I think everyone that has played this game for a while should have an idea of how hard these 3 are to get. And then of course there's my Noelle, Sayu, Toma, and Xingyan. Now that we're done with the constellations, I want to show you guys the weapons that I have. I do try to pull as many 5-star weapons from my characters as I can get. Shogun doesn't have her 5-star weapon because I was too broke at the time, so there's that. But I do have Kazuha's Freedom Sword, which came out with 2 other 5-star weapons on 5 pulls. And then we have the Skyward Blade, the Skyward Harp, Wavebreaker Stem, and an R2 Jade Spear for my Yaksha-sama. And then we have Miko-chan's Kagura's Verity and Everlasting Moonglow, the Polar Star, the Thundering Pulse, the Unforged. And as you guys can see, we have an R2 Unforged from pulling the Reforged for Ayaka, which I lost a 50-50 twice. But at the end I still got it, so that's good. And we have Venti's, the Legi for the end. And then we have Chi-Chi's Aquila Favonia, which I got on the first day of playing this game. Her Jade Cutter. We have Beidou's Wolf's Gravestone. And let me show you guys my builds on each character. First we have the Leiden Shogun and with a 53-160 crit value and 1744 ATK, which I personally feel like 53 is too low for a DPS, but we have a catch which adds 12%, which makes it a 65, which makes it barely acceptable for me. And then we have Kaida Harakazuha with 917 Elemental Mastery and 161 Energy Recharge, which I feel like is pretty good, it's enough. And then we have Bennett with 34k health and 234 Energy Recharge. Next up here we have Mr. X Lapis with a nice amount of health and a nice amount of crit value and adequate energy recharge. Next up we have Xiao, one of my main DPSs with 2400 ATK, 70 crit rate and 200 crit damage. And then we have Kamisato Aika with 33,281 crit value and with a very nice amount of energy recharge. And then we have Yaemiko here with 1900 ATK, 300 elemental mastery, and a 78,200 crit value, which I consider to be a very nice build for Yaemiko. And then next up here we have our Sangonomiya Kokomi with 40k health and Tartaglia with 2000 ATK, 82 and 190 crit value. And then next up we have Yoimiya with 2300 ATK and 70 to 36 crit value. And then next up we have Diluc with 2400 ATK and 62, 177 crit value and with some elemental mastery too. And then we have Yunjin with 2700 defense and with 200 energy recharge. And then next up we have Venti with 1800 ATK and 69, 143 crit value and with 200 energy recharge. And then next up here we have little Klee, which I never really spent time on because whenever I needed to use her I would just use the Luke's artifact. So shame on me on that one. And then we have Albedo, her brother, with 2400 defense and 62, 123 crit value, which isn't really that good, but as we all know, domains usually don't give us the artifacts that we want. And then we have Jean here with also a not so good build because I never really built her and I just kinda gave her the leftovers. And then we have Chi-Chi with 2700 ATK and 134 energy recharge. And then we have Kuchin with 72, 184. And then next we have, let me see, Xiangling with a 57, 177 and 200 energy recharge. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you guys some of my artifacts, so go ahead and take a look. Now that I'm done showing you guys some of my artifacts, I'm gonna show you my weapon inventory. So as you guys can see, I do have a decent amount of 5-star weapons, and I think that's not necessarily because I put a lot of money into this game. I feel like most of it is because I'm a veteran and I have played this game for a long time. I also have a lot of R5 4-star weapons because I keep every 4-star weapon that I pull from the pool and I don't use them to upgrade 5-star weapons. And even with 3-star, 2-star and 1-star weapons, I try to keep at least one of each kind so I have all of them in my inventory. Now we come into our artifact section again. I have 533 artifacts, but not all of them are 5-star. Most of them are like 4, 3s, and 2 stars. Now we come into our Ascension material section. I do have a couple thousand of each material. My heavy horns actually maxed out a couple days ago, so I had to combine them. And my masks are also about to max out, so I need to combine these two. And next I'm going to take you guys to my food section. My food section would be the only section that I don't have a couple hundred of each item because I'm not really that big of a foods person. I don't make foods until it's like necessary to make them. For example, when I run out of eggs and chickens, I would make them. And my materials, I don't really have that much materials either, but I do have a couple hundred crystal cores. I like to save these up because I don't want to have to loot them every day. There are some things that I do have a lot of, like mints and berries and stuff like that, but that's mainly because I don't really use them. So, and then there's this, there's that, there's this. Oh, I have 2 fates. Why don't we just use it up and see what we get? And that would also mark the end of our inventory tour. So let's see what we
见到
get.
了这么美丽的景色，行。
Alright, so there's that, and then I'm gonna show you guys my exploration progress. So here's Sumeru. I haven't really been doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I've just been like running around to random places. So, and then there's Mondstadt and Leah, and then there's Inazuma, we're all 100%. There's Ankanomia, and then there's the Chasm, all 100% also. I feel like that would be about it for the exploration progress, and then let me show you guys my abyss.
在大雨中漫步，
Alright, so abandoned challenge, history, description, oh, summary. So it looks like as far as the record goes, I have been able to clear the abyss every time, but I do remember clearly the first time I got 36 stars was the February of 2021, which is about, I think, 4 months into the game. At the time I was a noob, so I wasn't very good at the game. I really know what to do. I had to find out everything by myself, so yeah, that was a big accomplishment for me, and that was a milestone. And ever since then, I have been able to clear the abyss pretty easily. So now let me show you guys my team.
即在海上航行时遇
And
到的
after
雷暴，
we're done with that,
这倒也
let
算
me
不上什么。
just show you guys my achievements. Okay. So I have 632 achievements, and okay, congratulations. And let me show you guys my highest damage that I've done. Should be somewhere around here. Okay, 1.4 million. That was actually achieved by child inside of a event a couple of months ago. There was some pretty good buffs, so I just decided to test out how much damage I can do with my child. And if they release the same event again, I would probably be able to do around 1.7 million now. But I don't know if they're gonna release it again, so there's that. So this is pretty much all I have to show you on this account, and it looks like we came to an end of pretty much my first video on YouTube. If any of you see me online on Genshin, you guys are welcome to send a request and join my world, and I'll be happy to play with you guys. Thank you guys very much for watching my video, and I hope I'll see you guys again sometime very soon in the future.